Hello everyone, I'm Othman Al once again in another recording of the material required for your course 118. Okay, as a continuation for our previous lectures on academic writing, today we are going to focus on style in academic writing as part of the topics you need to give special attention uh, in your course this semester. So, style in academic writing. Before we start, I would like to draw your attention once again that this lecture will focus on style in academic writing rather than style in other types of literary works where some other rhetorical features might be used. Here, our concentration is style as it's used in academic writing. So to start right away, as you can see from our first sheet on the screen here, there is no correct style of academic writing, which is this is good news. I mean, there is not one correct style of academic writing that you must stick to. But in general, we can summarize it in three features here. I mean, you must or you should at least try to attempt to be accurate, impersonal, and objective in the style you are using for writing your term paper. So, once again, your style should be accurate, should be impersonal, and objective. Uh, of course, we're going to talk about these details through the examples we are going to give later on, but generally, for example, one of the common features of academic style is that personal pronouns like I and we, for example, or idiomatic expressions. And of course, by idiomatic expressions, here we mean informal language that's used in spoken language rather than in written language, are used less often than in other kinds of writing. For you as a student, you should study examples of writing in your own subject area. If you are doing, for example, chemical engineering or civil engineering or business accounting, whatever, and then aim to develop your own voice. I mean, you have to show your own experience, and here, of course, there is nothing worse so much as the originality. I mean, when you try to reflect what you understand from your own reading to the substance that you want to work on. And of course, originality is not difficult to achieve if you are focusing on the academic discipline you are studying or you want to write your term paper on. So, after this short introduction, I just want to tell you that this unit will give you some guidelines for an appropriate academic style, and of course, it will be practiced. Sorry, it will be accompanied with some kind of practice that we are going to apply the three key features we have mentioned here at the beginning of our lecture. So, to start with, let's have a look at this paragraph. Imagine someone had written a paragraph like this one here. In order to introspect or guess what we are going to concentrate on here, let's give or let's have a look at this paragraph which is written by, let's say, someone, and let's try to identify areas which reflect poor style and why they should, or what are the reasons beyond this. So let's have a look at this paragraph here. How to make people work harder is a topic that lots of people have written about in the last few years. There are lots of different theories, etc., and I think some of them are okay. When we think about this, we should remember the old Chinese proverb that this is a proverb that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. This is a Chinese proverb. So, how do you increase production? It's quite a complex subject, but I'll just talk about a couple of ideas. Now, this is a paragraph written by, let's say, a student, but of course, if you read it with some kind of concentration, you might not feel happy about it simply because of the style used there. So, for example, if you just try to look at some of the expressions you see here, for example, how to make people work harder. How to make people work harder, as if you are going to impose something on them. I mean, rather than letting them do it willingly, is a topic that lots of people, now when I say lots of people, uh, we haven't indicate, for example, who are these people. You see, lots of people have written about. I mean, lots of people. How many people, for example, and who wrote about this topic? Because lots of people is too general expression. I mean, you don't know how many people have written on this one, and there isn't even one example showing that. So, lots of people have written about, I mean, about this topic in the last few years. In the last few years, which years? 10 years ago, 3 years ago, 100 years ago. There are lots of different theories. Again, lots of different theories. Which theories? etc. etc. Again, this one doesn't seem to be in what you are going to explain clearly. And I think some of them are okay. Look at this part here. I think. In academic writing, people don't talk about it like this. I think, as if you are expressing your own feeling about this. This is an academic issue, and in academic issues, you have to avoid such personal expressions like I think, we think. Some of them are okay. Look at okay here. Okay is an informal way of expressing ideas. I mean, in academic writing, you have to avoid it. You don't have to say are okay. When we think again, when we think about this, we should remember the old Chinese proverb. Okay, old Chinese proverb. Do we have to include proverbs in our academic writing? That's the question we have to think about. So, how do we increase production? Look at this question. How do we increase production? This is a rhetorical question. And as we're going to see sometime later on, rhetorical questions are not recommended to be used in academic writing. It's quite a complex subject. And also, if you remember, in some earlier lectures, when we talk about features of academic writing, we said that you have to avoid contracted forms such as it's here. You see, it's not recommendable as well. It's quite a complex subject, but again, another contracted form, I'll just talk about a couple of ideas. So actually, this paragraph is a bit problematic as far as the style is concerned, and we can see the key points which have poor style in the following sheet here. So, the first part that we said here, how to make people work harder. This is imprecise vocabulary. I mean, it's not accurate. You have to use more accurate words. I mean, because when you say how to make people work harder, this